thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And you just have to serve your enemies that the Lord sent against you. It ain't because you did something because you were so dumb or so stupid that these things happen to your people. The Lord said, I'm going to send these people against you. Because you don't want to serve me, I'm going to make you serve the Arabs. I'm going to make you serve the Chinese. I'm going to make you serve white folk. He said, I'm going to send these enemies against you. Yo, my brother, what you got going on today? Come on, let me come over. Come over here and stand in front of me. What's your name?
My name Mike, man.
Mike. You sound like you got a whole lot of things going on. What is that saying? Saint Michael, the Protector.
That's my name, Michael.
That's your name. So okay. So do you believe that there is a such thing as Saint Michael, a saint? Because I think Saint Michael is like a white guy, right? He was, right.
I had to do a little research myself, though. Somebody give me this.
Right. Yo, my sis, don't go away. What you got going? Come on, talk to him. I'm talking to Michael here for a minute. I want to ask both of y'all a question real quick. So, Michael, and what's your name?
My name is
Keisha? Yeah. Keisha, Mike and Keisha. Do you know who you are according to the Bible? Stand over here for me, because I want her to be able to see the sign right here. Stand over here for me. Do you know who you are according to the Bible? This is normally a hard ask for a lot of people because a lot of people think that we're just children of God, right? They don't realize that God created all these different nations. So if God created all nations, who are you according to the Bible?
His creation.
Huh?
His creation.
You think he was his creation? But what I'm telling you is that God created all nations. So which nation? Okay, let me go back here. Do you know the story about everybody being gathered at the Tower of Babel? You kind of sound familiar? Well, I tell you, I'm going to get to the heart of it. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. I'm going to show you something here in the Bible that you might not be familiar with, right? Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. Because people always say, I'm just a child of God. They don't realize God created different nations, and he did that for a reason. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
So God created nations, and he divided to the nations their inheritance. You know what that means? He said, I'm going to create this nation to go over here and inherit this land. This nation will inherit that land. This nation will inherit that land, and so on and so on. Read.
When he separated the sons of Adam.
So there you go. We all come from Adam, right? But then he just said he separated the sons of Adam into different nations. Read.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
He said, I set the bounds of the people according to the sons of the children of Israel. These are the children of Israel. He's saying, y'all can have that land over there. Y'all can have that land over there. But the children of Israel, I want you to have my special land. You know, that Mount Zion, Jerusalem, Israel. That's the land I'm giving my people. Everybody else, y'all can have this other land, but my people are going to inherit my holy mountain, my holy land. You understand that, sis? Does that make sense to you? So now, I'm going back to this original question. If God created these nations, who are you according to the Bible? Who you think you are, my brother? I'm gonna give you some hints. Okay? Because that's an unfair question. I know the answer. Give me a Wisdom of Solomon. No. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. Because the reason why we talk color in the Bible sometimes is because I need to get you to connect with the Bible. Because a lot of times we've been lied to so much that we think everybody in this Bible is a white man. But watch what the Bible says about King Solomon, who was the greatest and richest king that ever ruled the nation of Israel. Watch what they say about him and how he looks. Read.
Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1, the Song of Songs, which is Solomon's.
So Solomon wrote this book. He wrote the Song of Songs. Read.
Verse 5, I am black, but comely.
What did Solomon just say about himself, Keisha?
Bring it up.
Read it again.
I am black, but comely.
Solomon just said, I'm black, and comely means good looking.
That's right.
Solomon, who was the richest king that ever ruled the nation of Israel, just said in the Song of Solomon, which he wrote, that I am black and good looking. You didn't know that was in the Bible?
I want to say something.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and say it, sis. Come on up here and talk to me.
That's the 12 tribes.
12 tribes of, so these are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
Jacob's name was, Israel's name was originally Jacob, but God changed his name to Israel. He had 12 sons. Each of his sons became the progenitor of a nation of people. Through historical research and studying the Bible, we understand that these nations, these brothers, their people would end up in these lands here in the latter days. So what we're telling you is that you, sis, you are from one of these 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Based upon the lineage of your father. Is your father a so-called black man?
Yeah, my father's
Okay, so your son, if your father is a so-called black man, then more than likely, you are from the tribe of Judah. Yep.
I'm going to say it like this.
Talk to me, sis. You got something on your mind you want to say. Talk to me. Now, we're going to answer you out the Bible, but talk to me.
Okay, so what I see is that God is black.
Right,
And I see that the tribes, we're all black.
right,
So everything was fighting because they want us to believe that everybody was white.
Right.
So everybody is black.
right.
Okay, so we originate from Egypt. We are Egyptian.
Well, we didn't originate in Egypt, but we were in captivity in Egypt. And that's a good point that you're making, because I want you to understand that the Egyptians, even though they're black, they are not Israelites. See what I'm saying? You got a lot of different kind of black people, but all black people are not Israelites the same way all Orientals are not
Just like
Chinese.
Like, okay, so it is a different race of black. You have
Right,
African black,
yes.
you have South American black.
Okay, let me show you what happened to us, okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is gonna be very simple, all right? But I gotta go through the scriptures, 'cause I want to walk you through the Bible, okay? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. I'm gonna show you why we ended up in these different lands. Because when God delivered us out of Egypt, he entered into a covenant with these 12 tribes. These are the people that he brought out of Egypt, that he destroyed all of the Egyptians to deliver these people out of bondage that were in Egypt, right? So here's a part of that agreement.
I got another question.
Okay, let's answer the first question first.
I know.
Let me answer the first question first. You getting ahead of yourself. Let's let him answer the first question. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, but if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So when we entered into this agreement with the Lord, he said, if you don't do all that I say, all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. In other words, these curses that some of them are described here on this poster, he said these things are going to come upon you and overtake you. Read verse 46, and then we'll get to 68. Read.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So it says these curses are going to be up on you for a sign and a wonder. No matter where you go, wherever you go in the world, these curses you're going to be able to know who you are, because these curses will be on you. One of those curses is that, well, keep on reading.
And upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
He said you're going to have to serve your enemies that the Lord sent against you. It ain't because you did something because you were so dumb or something so stupid that these things happen to your people. The Lord said, I'm going to send these people against you. Because you don't want to serve me, I'm going to make you serve the Arabs. I'm going to make you serve the Chinese. I'm going to make you serve white folks. He said, I'm going to send these enemies against you. Read on.
In hunger
in hunger. Do black folks own grocery stores anywhere? Do we own farms where we produce our own people for a whole nation? No, we don't own none of that stuff. That's a curse. Every other nation can feed itself, but we can't feed ourselves. We don't. And in thirst, we got to go to them for water. Why you gotta pay for water that fall out the sky? Read. And in nakedness, you gotta go to them for clothing. We don't manufacture no clothes. We gotta go and buy the textiles from them, either from overseas or somewhere. We don't own nothing as a race of people. Read. And in want of all things, we gotta go to the other nations for the want of all things. What other nation is dealing like that? Now that's part of it. Now I'm gonna get to the real nitty gritty right now. Give me 68.
Yes, sir.
Because what I'm about to tell you not only happened to a certain group of people, and I don't care about, you can tell me about, these people. I'm gonna read it for you. Read.
Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
It say the Lord shall send you into Egypt again with ships. Now that might sound confusing, because the first time that we walked out of Egypt, the Lord split the Red Sea, we walked out, right? But here's the deal here. Egypt is not what the Lord called that land. Egypt is a word that means house of bondage. Egypt, back in the old day, it was called the land of Mizraim. So when the Lord said, I'm going to send you back into Egypt, he means I'm going to send you back into bondage. Read again, read on.
Shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
I'm going to bring you back into bondage, but this time I'm going to do it with ships. I'm going to pack you up on cargo slave ships and ship you all over the world. See how we came out of Africa on those cargo slave ships and we went to all these different countries in slavery? That didn't happen to nobody else. This is what you call chattel slavery. Chattel slavery never happened to anybody else. Where they loaded you up on ships like cargo, loaded you up on ship like animals, and they bred your ancestors like animals. I'm gonna breed this big buck to this big female over here so I can get me a good, strong, big, strong working buck. Get me a good breeding female. They ain't call you female, he call you, get me a good breeding bitch. And I'm just calling you the way they said it.
Okay.
So, let me answer my question though before we go.
Wait a minute.
Who did that happen to?
That happened to us.
Right.
Okay.
So that's how you understand who you are according to the Bible.
Okay.
You got that?
that
All right, go ahead.
Okay, this is what I want to say.
Read. I'm sorry. Go speak.
Okay. So this basically, it takes us all the way back to slavery. So,
That's not that far ago. I don't know if you know, but like my great-grandmother was the daughter of a slave. It's not that long ago, sis. People like to think that was back in ancient days. That's less than 100 years ago. That's like 75 years ago that slavery, that people that have been in bondage as chattel slavery were still walking the earth. It's not that long ago, sis. Go ahead.
And so, as we make this journey called life, we're gonna have to be more efficient in our lives so we can channel who are like you're doing right now.
You want to know what you got to do to get out of this situation that you're in now?
Well, actually, that's what we all want to do. We all want to get out of our situation. We all want to come together and help each other.
Okay, let me show you something. Give me Psalms 83. I want to show you something. Because what you don't understand, it's no fault to you, sis. But what you don't understand is that there has been a concerted effort. What I mean when I say concerted, I want you to understand that pretty much everybody in the tops of government, they know who you are. Everybody know who you are except you, and they have been striving to keep you ignorant of who you are.
They're conditioning us.
Yeah, right.
Who we are.
Right.
But
let me show you that it's in the Bible.
That's why God said He's gonna bring us back into remembrance of who we are.
That's what's happening right now. That's what I want to show you, how deep the rabbit hole goes. The reason why our people can't come out of it, why it's so difficult, because they are stuck on social media being programmed. They're stuck in the education system being programmed. They're stuck in front of the TV being programmed.
Preach.
And everybody know it, except the people that's being programmed. Watch this. Watch what the Bible say what happened to your ancestors. Read.
Book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
It's saying those same enemies that the Lord said He's going to send against you, He said they are making a noisy gathering. Read.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel.
He said they that hate thee. You need to understand what that means. God say they hate you. That's different forms of hate. Not all hate is manifested with a noose around your neck. Sometimes hate is manifested with, yeah, she got the qualification, but I'm not hiring her.
Envious and jealousy.
Right. So he say, they that hate thee have taken crafty. You know what crafty counsel means? They doing some sneaky underhanded shit.
Yeah, undermining stuff.
Read.
Taking crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
He calling you the hidden one because you don't know who you are. You know, like that story they telling you. Well, it's not a story, it's just in the Bible. Talk about, can these dry bones live? Ezekiel, them dry bones. Can these dry bones live? You them dry bones. Read.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
These other nations have said they taking crafty counsel. They said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, so they don't know who they are. They come up here, they're going to think they're just a child of God. God loves everybody. You're just a child of God. That's what they done a good job of it though, sis. You might know, but if you see how many people walk past us and they look at us and turn their nose up? Because they think they're just an American citizen. The Bible says, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So when I tell you that you're an Israelite, you're like, an Israelite? So that the name of Israel is no more in your remembrance. You think you're just a black American. You think you're an African American. You think you're a Negro. You think you're a black person living free in America. I got a vacation and I get to go to get my college degree. I'm living good here in America. Read on. Now it's going to tell you who those nations are. But if you don't know who these nations are in the Bible, you don't know who he's talking about. Just like you didn't know you were Judah. Just like you didn't know you were Benjamin. Just like you don't know who this guy here is. But the Bible gives him a name in the Bible. I mean, the Bible gives him a name here in this book. We know who he is according to the Bible. Read.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
So they are confederate against you. All these other nations, they've come together and they're confederate against you. Read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom. That's the number one nation that is confederate against you. Do you know who Edom is? See there? So you can walk right up on your enemy and he's smiling in your face. You think he means you good, but the Bible just said he's your enemy. And you don't know who he is. You know who Edom is? It's okay if you don't know. Edom is the so-called white man.
I was pointing at him.
Okay, I didn't know you was pointing at him.
I was pointing at him.
That's the so-called white man.
That's the white man that's not Jesus.
Right.
That's a black, that's not even a
Right.
black man.
So he just named one nation. Let's get some of the other ones because he ain't doing it by himself. That's why they allow these Chinese stores to come set up in blacks' neighborhood, and they won't give you a loan to set up a store in your own neighborhood, but they'll give him a loan to set up a store in your neighborhood because they're Confederate.
Okay, I got something to say about this man right here.
Go ahead, sis.
Okay, so this man right here, he's a murderer.
Of course. He did this to your people.
Exactly. This
So-
is the white man. This
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, he's going to be judged for that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to be judged, but the Bible tells us all of these things. What you have, ham? Yeah, okay, read on.
And the Ishmaelites.
So he just said Edom number one, Ishmaelite number two. Who's the Ishmaelites?
It's the same thing.
Who's the Ishmaelites? They got a store in all the black communities. What do you call them? They're the Arabs.
Yeah, the Dago.
Yeah, so I don't know what Dago. What's Dago? Is that Italian? I thought that was Italian or something like that. No, I don't know. I don't know why she's looking at you, officer. But anyway, so we got Edom, white man. We got the Ishmaelites, the Arabs. Read.
Of Moab.
You know who Moab is? Moab is the Chinese. All these people are taking advantage of your people in your neighborhood. So we got Edom, white man. We got Ishmaelite, the Arabs. We got Moab, the Chinese. Read.
and the Hagarenes.
Hagarenes, those are Africans. They're African. You know what, them Africans, they come over here, they don't want nothing to do with you. Because they know they're not the same people. Now give me that in hand. I'm going to go ahead and read this for you. Now this is a book here that's called the Compact Bible Dictionary. Remember I told you earlier that all these people know about you and who you are, but you don't know? They wrote it in their own dictionary. So you know when God destroyed the earth during the time of Noah, he killed everybody, flooded the earth, killed everybody except Noah and his 3 sons. So Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I think Ham was the youngest. But anyway, we're going to read that here in a minute. So I'm going to show you what the so-called Bible scholars know about Noah and his 3 sons. Read. We're going to read about the son of Ham. Noah's son, Ham. Read.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So Ham is the youngest son of Noah. Read.
Born probably about 96 years before the flood. And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
He's one of 8 people to live through the flood. So it was Noah and his wife, Noah's 3 sons and their wives. So those were the 8 people that the world was repopulated with after God had destroyed everybody in the flood. You with me? Read.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
So they say when the world was repopulated, Ham was the father of the dark races. But watch, it gets better. Read.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
But they saying he's not your father. He's the daddy of the other dark races, the Hagarenes, like we just reading, and the Nilotic Africans over in Africa. You know, them Bantu people be doing all that kind of stuff, jumping up and down with the big hoop in their ears and all that stuff. They're not your people. He say Ham is the progenitor of the dark nation, but not the Negro. The Negro comes out of Shem, Noah's other son. But what did that tell you about Noah and the people that survived the storm, that survived the flood? If Ham was black, and if Shem produced the Negroes, because Ham didn't produce the Negroes, what color were everybody on that ship? Everybody was black. Everybody was black. Read.
Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians.
You got that? Egyptians,
Ethiopians,
yeah.
Libyans, and Canaanites.
And Canaan. You read about them Canaanites throughout the Bible? There was black folks fighting black folks back then. See what I'm saying, sis? This is what they know. Show her that book again. This is the Compact Bible. This is what these people know about you. They know who you are. But they let you walk around here calling yourself a Negro. Check off on the box. What's your nationality? You colored? You Negro? You African American? Yeah. But they know. They put it in their book. They know who you are, sis. So what other questions you got? I know it's a lot going through your head, sis. I know it's a lot to take in. But the main thing is, you don't have to. Go ahead. Okay. Get your thoughts together. Go ahead. I know it's a lot. Come on. You know what? You can come and learn with us because we're going to be at the school tomorrow from 2 o'clock until 9, 10 o'clock at night. Come and learn with us.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation